I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 16th May 2024. Any member with petition?
I have a petition in respect of land trespass. They want discreet investigation and compensation on claims. I seek the leave of the House and the authority of the Speaker to lay this petition. Thank you.
This petition is referred to the Committee of Public Petition for further legislative action.
I rise to present the following bills from the committee. The House do receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Olabumiji and Co. against the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police Force on the gruesome murder of Babajide Oluwolabi on the 6th of August 2019 by soldiers attached to 93 Battalion, Takum, Taraba State, while on national assignment with the Inspector General of Police, IGP Intelligence Response Team. The second report I'm presenting is the House do hereby receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by PP, Agio, and Associate against National Examination Council, NECO, for unlawful dismissal from office. Mr. Speaker, the House also do receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Alifa Onun against the Nigeria Customs Service on the non-compliance of the House resolution on his case. The House also received the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the position by Kennedy C. Amos, Associate against Airtel Network Limited over fraudulent transactions involving the land of Mrs. Julina Wekama of Biana Town, Kana local government area of Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, the last but not the least is the House do hereby receive the report on the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Civil Society for Actis Value Development Initiative on the denial of promotion for professor working at the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Research and Development. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, these are my reports, and I urge that you allow me to lay the report, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
I rise to second as moved by Honorable Mike Etaba to lay the report. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of the following reports to be considered. Mr. Speaker, the report to be considered is the House to consider the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, Ijora, Lagos, a case for conspiracy in data, criminal defamation, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace. Mr. Speaker, another report to be considered is the House do consider the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Dr. Hilary Ibe against the Veterinary Council of Nigeria for reinstatement and payment of full benefits and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, the following report is the report on report by Dr. Momeke George Oyekanjike against Bini Owena River Basin Development Authority. And another report is to be considered is the House do consider the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Joseph Andrew against the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, as appeal for reinstatement back to service and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, the last but not the least report to be considered is the report on the petition by MC Chambers against MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, the National Broadcasting Commission, and the Federal Competition and Consumers Protection Council. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, these are the reports to be considered. I thereby move, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to second the motion that this report do hereby be accepted, so as submitted by Honorable Mike Etaba. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do resolve into Committee of the Whole to take the reports submitted by Honorable Etaba. I so move.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
The House has resolved to the Committee of the Whole. Thank you.
Most distinguished colleagues, the first report to be considered is that of the Committee on Public Petition on the petition by A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger Nigerian PLC, Ijora, Lagos, a case of conspiracy to vendetta, criminal defamation, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report.
This report we are considering now, which is the A.A. Adole, is in respect to the sack of Mr. Umar Edet Okon. And the recommendations here from the House Committee on Public Petitions is to urge the management of Julius Berger Nigeria PLC to reinstate the petitioner, Mr. Umar Edet Okon, back to the service of Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, pay him all the areas of his benefit and entitlement. Or, in the alternative, pay him off with his entitlement and benefit if his services are no longer, required in the company. Caution the management of Julius Berger PLC to always abide by the extant employment laws and regulations as regards to the management of the staff of the company. Mr. Chairman, these are the synopsis of the first report, sir.
So the question is that recommendation 6.1 to 6.4 be made part of the working instrument of the House. Recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4. You have something to point out? Please do.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Recommendation 6.4.
Recommendation 4?
No, 4. Am I looking at the right one?
Page 5.
Yes. I think, I'm not sure Julius Berger appeared before this committee. Did they? Julius Berger. They did not come. This is a recurring thing. They never show up. I just thought I should point this out so that we would have to decide on how to handle Julius Berger. With the money they make in this country, they have a flagrant disregard for the powers of this House. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you very much. This caution should go from the House, a written caution to Julius Berger, because the prayer number 4, they are talking about the application of prayer number 4, which is caution management of Julius Berger. This caution is expected to emanate from your office immediately.
Mr. Chairman, having gone through the recommendations of the Committee on Public Petitions with respect to the petition between A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger and the need to caution, I want to add recommendation number 6.5, that having noticed the behavior of Julius Berger regarding the attempt to resolve these issues, their non-appearance, and the need to put to rest attitude and conduct of this kind, that this House mandates the leadership to summon the management of Julius Berger to appear before her to give further insight and explanation on why they have always ignored or refused to obey invitations from the National Assembly. Being that this is the highest law-making body and organ of this country, with the mandate of even...
You're now leading a debate.
I so move, Mr. Chairman. So move.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the amendment ably moved by my good friend, Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Agosha.
I rise to move the motion for the rescission of the earlier this decision that was made so that we can accommodate the amendments. Thank you very much.
Seconder.
I rise to second this motion as ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Rotimi. I so second. Thank you, Chair.
Petition by Dr. Hilary Ibe against the Veterinary Council of Nigeria for reinstatement and payment of full benefit. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report.
The second report is about Dr. Ibe. And Dr. Ibe case is Veterinary Council accused him of fraudulent practices and then took the matter to EFCC. EFCC now took the matter to court and abandoned the matter. And when they abandoned the matter, the judge had to strike out the matter, and Mr. Ibe now approached the court. And EFCC didn't bother to appeal, neither did the Veterinary Council bother to appeal. So this was the crop of the matter, and the committee considered the issue, and a report was produced, and this is the report we are presenting to the House, Mr. Chairman.
If the matter appeared before court,
yes, sir.
What was the judgment of court, the order of court?
The order of court did not find him guilty. The order of court did not find him guilty. In fact, there was no judgment because EFCC was not appearing. Veterinary Council was no longer appearing. So the matter was abandoned, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable colleagues, we have a rule in this House. This matter is before the court that we don't enter into that space. But if there's an evidence by the committee that it was abandoned and there is no judgment order from court that is different from the recommendation, we might go ahead and consider this recommendation.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if the matter was in court, we understand that it will be sub judice for us to dive into the matter. But as we speak, the matter was not in court and is not in court.
Was it struck out? Was it withdrawn?
It was struck out and for non-appearance of the both parties that presented the matter before the Honorable Court.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that recommendation 7.1 to 7.4 be made part of the recommendation of this committee. Recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3, recommendation 4. Petition of Dr. Momeke George Onye Kamjike against the Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority on a complaint of unfair treatment and handling of service condition. An appeal for investigation and consideration of his petition brought before the 9th Assembly was not concluded before the end of the 9th Assembly.
Mr. Chairman, our simple recommendation is for Owena Basin Authority to reinstate Mr. George Moemeka for not following the rules specified by the civil service, laid down practice.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that recommendation 1 to 6, that is 6.1 to 6.6, be made part of the recommendation of the report of this committee. Recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3, recommendation 4, 5, 6. Petition by Joseph Andrew against the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission Limited. An appeal for reinstatement back to service. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report.
NNPC is one of the worst organizations that least respond to Nigerians' plight. And in the course of this petition, we never saw them. They didn't appear. And based on our evidence and facts before us, they ought to have listened to this man, treat this man as a Nigerian, so that this issue will be handled before even coming to the committee. But looking at the petition, we looked at it, and there was no merit, and any reason why the man should be dismissed. So we have reinstated the man by our recommendations, so left for the House to consider the way we have recommended, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion that the NNPC, the leadership of the House should summon NNPC immediately for non-compliance or for non-obeying the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman.
Any seconder to that? Marky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. I'm Abubakar Maki Elleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudori Kaugama Federal Constituency. I rise to support the motion heavily moved by my honorable colleague, Kabiru May Palace. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Why sending that someone, the relevant committees that work with NNPC should also be around alongside the public petition committee of the House should be there with the leadership to engage on this issue. So we are using this as amendment as number 5, the 5th amendment to the prayers. Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I have looked at the recommendations as captured here. I think the summon by the leadership should precede the consideration. Why? Because if you look at 6.4, the Committee on Public Petition is referring the man back to NMPC for whatever benefits he's going to get. He said that the petitioner should make his records of service available to the management of NMPC that has refused to appear before them. So I don't think that will guarantee any form of justice to the petitioner.
Don't you think we can amend that 6.4 and then put the engagement with leadership ahead thereafter to now do number 4?
That's okay.
That will go, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the amendment that have been done by my palace, who moved that motion? It was my palace, right? Yeah, seconded by Maki. So that motion, we are putting it as 6.4, while 6.4 becomes 6.5. So it will be after the engagement comes the 6.5.
I rise to move that the House will revert to plenary so the chairman of the Committee of the Whole can give report to the House.
Thank you very much. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do revert to plenary to consider the report from the Committee of the Whole. I so second.
The House hereby revert to committee to plenary to present report progress from the Committee of the Whole.